Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I got my M3 CS in the garage today. Trying to put on some mud flaps. I live in California, but specific thing with this car is that at high speed, these tires do kick up a lot of dirt, gravel, and it could potentially damage your car. So far today, I'm going to go through a couple of steps to get it going, but I want to show you one of the reasons why I'm doing it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this, but in this area essentially has a lot of kick up from the tires in the front, shooting the gravel back. I have a bit of a 3M cover here already, but again, with a mud flap, it's going to help a little bit more, since I do plan on putting in some spacers for the wheel. So I contacted Tommy L Garage a couple of weeks ago, and he sent me a couple of sets of mud flaps for the F80 M3. So we're gonna put it on today. So mounting the front mud flap is fairly easy. You just turn the wheel to one side, expose this area so that you can mount the mud flaps on, and then there's an anti-flapping screw that Tommy provides so that you can mount this together. So a quick view, as you can see, looks fairly nice already. Tommy has two versions. This is the longer mud flap. I decided to go with a longer one because I want a bit more coverage when I put on my carbon fiber side skirt, which is in another video that I'll be doing. But he also has a shorter mud flaps in the front, where it's fairly short. It's about right here. You can pick and choose which one you want. You just want to make sure that you tell him before he ships it out. I made a mistake originally when I ordered these, and I didn't tell him which one I wanted, so he sent me the short one, and Tommy was really nice to provide me another set without charge. And this is the longer piece of the mud flap to help with the car here. So now that you have the wheel aligned up straight, you can now see that the mud flap has a good coverage in case there's a lot of kickback when you're driving. So installing the rear mud flaps from Tommy L Garage is a little bit more involved. You need to jack up the car, remove the rear wheel so it can expose the rear area so you can mount the mud flaps. I've already mounted the mud flaps, but before I did that, I was using some masking tape. As you can see here, Tommy sent this with some markings, light marking to underline, or at least place where a good place to put the mud flaps, but it's hard to see, so I took some masking tape and just outlined his area, and that was what I used to mount the rear, or at least lined up the mud flaps to mount for the rear. So to quickly see, it's nice and flush based on my installation. You see masking tape kind of outlines it for you, comes underneath. Now on the F80, if you don't use a Dremel to at least grind some of the plastic away, this area is gonna pop out a little bit, but I grind mine in. I have a Dremel, so I was able to remove a few pieces of plastic, and it gave a nice clean flush look to the mud flap. The only addition that I did to this mud flap was that I actually screw a third screw on the inner side here. I use a shorter self-tapping screw, so that's a lot easier to get it all connected, give it more security, I guess. So we're on the rear passenger side. Mounting part is pretty much the same. You got the main guided pole right here that is provided by Tommy L Garage. Once you align the way that you want it, just mount them in. What I feel was that I wanted to add an extra screw on the rear side just to hold it all in place. I have 3 screws, one on the passenger side and one on the driver's side. Make sure when you do the drilling, you drill it down here, not up here, because this is where the metal's at, so you don't want to drill into that. That's why Tommy only provides you 2 holes right here. But just to let you know, the rear passenger side, if you want to have a third screw right here, self-tapping screw, just screw it right here as it goes right into this piece of plastic, as you can see. So as you can see here, the rear is nicely flushed after the mount. The front is pretty much done, nice and clean. Rear, again, it's pretty nice and flush. Driver's side, front, looks pretty clean.